Here I am in Brandon, Florida. Until 3 days ago, I didn't even know that a place existed called Brandon, Florida, but here I am in a motel. Now, those of you who know me know that Marty spends his time on cruise ships, not in motels. So, you might ask, what happened? Why aren't you on a cruise ship? Well, I'll tell you the story and then you could decide, is Marty a Schlamiel or a Schlamazel? For those who don't know the difference, if you go to a restaurant and the waiter spills soup, he's a Schlamiel. If it's your lap that he pours it in, you're a Schlamazel. So, in the comments, please let me know which you think I was in this situation when I tell you how I missed my cruise and wound up spending 5 days in Brandon, Florida. The story begins a month ago when I brought my car, a Honda HR-V, which had 6,000 miles on it, in for an oil change. While I was there, the salesman found me. I said, "Oh, have to show you something. You're going to be real interested." And being a professional salesman, he showed me something and got me real interested. And so, the HR-V with 6,000 miles on it then became a Honda Prologue with 0 miles on it. My brand new electric car. An electric car that I was proud to own. And since I had previously owned a plug-in hybrid, I already had a level 2 charger in my garage. So how easy is it to open up that little port door, charge my car, and avoid the $4 a gallon gas prices? Last Saturday, as I got off the Regal Princess in Fort Lauderdale, I was putting my car to the first test. I was going to drive across state from Fort Lauderdale to Tampa. It was the first time that I was going to charge it away from home. Now, I'm very cautious. I checked every map and I found out that there's lots and lots of charging stations as I go across the state. My GPS had other ideas. So as I started out on my route, everything seemed fine. Till about midway through the trip across state, it took me down a route I'd never seen before, a route I'd never heard before. And before too long, I was on a series of back country roads. The farms were beautiful. The occasional house was beautiful. But there wasn't a commercial enterprise to be found, and not a charging station to be found any place along the way. So when I was down to only 6 miles of electricity left on my car, my words were, uh-oh. I pulled over to the side. I said, I'll deal with this. Time was before noon. I said, no problem. I've been a member of the Auto Club of America for the last 48 years. They'll rescue me. And I patiently waited and waited and waited. Soon noon became 1 o'clock, became 3 o'clock, became 5 o'clock. I knew I wasn't making the ship, but here I am on a backcountry road, sitting in the hot car, waiting for the Auto Club. Dozens of phone calls later, and after they changed the provider 4 separate times, they finally said to me, "Why don't you leave the keys in the car? We'll pick up the car, and we'll bring it to Brandon, Florida." Well, it's 8 o'clock at night by now, and I didn't see much choice, so I found myself a motel in Brandon, Florida, and that's where I'm recording this from now. My car arrived here the following day at about 1 in the afternoon on a Sunday, and there wasn't a darn thing they could do for me as it pulled it into the service station, where I knew I could get a trickle charge using the wire provided and then go for a high-speed charger immediately thereafter. But the service station was closed. There wasn't an outlet to be found, so I had to wait for the next day. I apologize for the shirtless picture that I posted at the beginning of this video. Hey, but I didn't know how bad I looked. But here I am now, back at the swimming pool, this time with a shirt, to tell you what finally happened. By the time I was able to get my car charged, it was Monday morning, and I had another cruise coming up on Thursday out of Tampa, so it made no sense to go home anymore. And as a result, here I am, staying in beautiful Brandon, Florida, where I've spent the last several days and found ways to keep myself busy and found ways to keep myself entertained. So now I leave it up to you to make the decision. Am I a Schlamiel? An awkward, clumsy person who makes a lot of mistakes, does everything wrong, what we might call in English, forgive me, an F-up? Or am I a Schlamazel? Person who just has a lot of bad luck? Personally, I don't think I'm either, because I turn my bad luck into a good time. And I think that I handled things in a fairly competent way. But let me know your opinion. Berate me all you wish. It won't hurt. And please add to the comments. I'd like to know what you think.